Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Audible484 Podcast, also known as the Yesterday Podcast, also known as Is This Still a Podcast? Hi, everyone. How's it going? I tried to do the podcast by opening up with doing a dab. Here's the footage. I don't know how to do this. This is literally like maybe my fourth or fifth time, sixth or seventh time doing it ever in my entire life. I've smoked a lot of dabs, but I've never actually been the one to be the man behind the fire, I guess I could say. I don't know if I'm already doing this too long. I feel like a lot of you guys are going to tell me I am. I'm going to leave it for just a few more seconds. But yeah, any tips you guys might have on dabbing and how to dab, how long to keep the torch going and all that would be much appreciated because your boy's a noob. But either way, let's get this started off, huh? Let's get this started, baby. It just threw me off. I couldn't handle it. Hold on, you got something on your cheek. There you go. I couldn't do it, man. It's like it takes me like 5 minutes to recover from a dab. So I'm back. Hi. Happy Thursday. It's April 15th, 2021. It's about almost 8 in the morning. And yeah, man, I'm excited. I've been actually putting down topics in my notepad on my phone, trying to bring a little bit more like topical things to talk about on the podcast. And we're going to slowly transform this bitch into something much more fun than what it used to be. So just stay tuned and let's get into it. Lil Nas X has been showing his ass literally. I didn't even watch the video. Okay. Lil Nas X, I've never really been a fan of. Okay. I liked Old Town Road. It was a good song, but I never thought the kid was really that talented. I thought he was a hustler. I thought he was a master of social media and marketing. But as far as his music, I like that Holiday track though. There's a couple of them that I like, but like he's one of those artists that you can tell he doesn't like. He's not the talent behind the music. You know, he's just the face of it. But either way, I was kind of like, I would say like pleasantly, I wouldn't say surprised, but I thought it was a cool I thought that okay, for those who don't know, Lil Nas X did a video where he basically gives the devil a lap dance, and the devil is a dude and he's a dude and it's real dude on dude sexual stuff. And you know, obviously there's nothing wrong with that, but I think it was something that was very new to not only the hip hop community, but the music community, just being like that open with it and not sexual with it. You know, I think it's kind of wild that all he really did was like show his ass a little bit and his abs and be a little bit sexual. You know, but because it's two dudes, it causes all these headlines. But if it was, you know, fucking Cardi B and Missy Elliott. Oh my God, I just showed my age right now. But if it was Cardi B and fucking Megan Thee Stallion, Missy Elliott, are they the same person? Anyways, if it was them, then, you know, it might cause, you know, headlines, but it wouldn't be, you know, but you can take it much further. So it just kind of shows, I think this is just the beginning of a bunch of gay sexual shit being everywhere. It is what it is, man. I don't know. It's just as awkward to me to watch, you know, a dude getting a lap dance from another dude than watching a chick give a lap dance to a dude. Like it's it's not something you want to watch. Even being a part of a lap dance is kind of awkward. Like, what do I do with my hands? And like, I don't know. I've never really been the type to get lap dances or give lap dances. You know, I don't know if I've ever given a lap dance. I feel like I have to have given a lap dance before in my life. Had to have. You know, you practice in the mirror in your room how to give a lap dance. Is that on YouTube, how to give a lap dance? Who the fuck is teaching that? Lil Nas X? That's where he should go next. How to give lap dances. Speaking of the devil, we just did a podcast episode on the Mind Control podcast on a movie called I Saw the Devil. Very, very crazy revenge film. It's on Amazon Prime. If you have Amazon Prime, you can watch it for free. I highly suggest watching it. It's really dope. Korean film. And you know, a lot of foreign films you don't really I never really fucked with because I never really wanted to like read that much. But this one was good, man. I was like pleasantly surprised. I really enjoyed it, and we go into it for like an hour. So if you guys want to check out the movie, it's on Amazon Prime. If you guys want to check out the podcast episode, you could look at the link in the description, or there might be like something you can click. But either way, please subscribe to the Mind Control Podcast. I'm only bringing that up in the podcast right now because I really want to grow it. And because once we hit 100 subscribers, I can actually change the URL. So all I have to say is go to youtube.com/Mind Control Podcast, and you guys could go there. So please, guys, go there and subscribe. Links will be in the description and the pinned comment and all that. So if you're just listening on Apple Music or Spotify or whatever, yeah, just YouTube or search on YouTube, Mind Control Podcast, or wherever you're listening. Sorry. This is not a podcast anymore. Now I'm just promoting like a little piece of shit. What else could we talk about? What's today? It's Thursday. What do we got coming up this weekend? We got the Jake Paul and Ben Askren fight. I didn't even write that down. I'm actually super fucking excited about this fight. Oddly enough, like if you'd asked me that 2 weeks ago, I'd have been like, that shit is dumb. But now I'm honestly really interested to see what Jake Paul has, because that, to me, that's the big factor as to see where this fight goes. Ben Askren is a competitor. He's a fucking Olympian. You know, he's a legitimate athlete. He's been suplexed by Robbie Lawler on his fucking neck and did not get knocked out. I don't see how even an elite, I mean, I don't see how even an amateur boxer could go, 6 or 8 rounds that they're doing and knock out Ben Askren. I just don't see Ben Askren getting knocked out. But like I said, it's all going to determine on if Jake Paul is this great boxer that we keep hearing about, because a lot of people are saying that he has legitimate skills now, that he's been working for like 2 to 3 years or whatever and has good skills. And with, you know, the fight I saw, he seemed like he did. He was he looked like a pretty good boxer, but one, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And two, I don't think that we saw him truly get tested. You know, he went in there with the YouTube guy, and I don't think that was like a long fight. I think he lost that one. I could actually, no, he didn't. But the second guy, Nate Robinson, is like a tiny basketball player who played years ago. And I just didn't see him get tested. So we'll see. If Jake Paul becomes like this great boxer, it would actually be super interesting and wild. You know what I'm saying? It would be kind of similar to Drake's rise. People forget that Drake was a fucking paraplegic in a wheelchair on Noggin or Degrassi. I mean, you know, and it took him years to get respect and be reputable in the game. Like it really did. It did. And now nobody even thinks about Drake as the paraplegic. So it can happen, guys. The psyche of the public can easily be swayed. Absolutely. So it's not crazy to say that can happen one day. But it would really be interesting to see, and I'm very interested to see what happens there. But if you ask me what my prediction would be, I think Jake Paul's gonna lose, and I think it'll be towards the end of the fight. I think Jake Paul is gonna become fatigued mentally, and I think Ben Askren will get a TKO towards the end of the fight. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm very interested to see. My sister's having some sort of like a birthday dinner the night of the fight, so I'm either gonna have to get out of there early, or I'm gonna be literally sitting there at the dinner table watching that shit on my phone. So we will see. I guess while we're on the topic, we could just stay in fighting, and stuff. I'm a big fight fan, guys. I listen to almost every single ESPN MMA video. I'm a big fan of Ariel and DC. If this is a casual fan, I'm like I go from here to here. Like I'm a little bit more than casual, but then a little bit less in some regards. But either way, I'm going to talk about that a lot. So if you guys aren't interested in that, I get it, but it's just what we're here for. So what I'm here for, the week after the Ben Askren and Jake Paul fight is Jorge Masvidal and Kamaru Usman, their rematch. And this is going to be super interesting, dude. I am a big fan of Jorge Masvidal. I like the way he fights. I like his attitude. And it's been wild to see how all of a sudden, he went from being this huge star to where, he's still a huge star, but I think that now he's a star because people don't like him. I think he hitched his wagon to Trump, and that fucked up a lot of his reputation with a lot of people. Not necessarily for me. I don't hold people accountable for the actions of the person that they supported politically. I think that's fucking stupid. But for whatever reason, and I think it includes, I think it doesn't just include the Trump thing. I think also because he wasn't active, and, he didn't fight people that he, like Colby Covington. There's a lot of people saying that he didn't fight him because he didn't want to or whatever, but it is what it is. I don't know. I'm really interested to see what happens. Kamaru Usman is fucking a beast. He's a monster. I think that he's had a huge chip on his shoulder his last few fights because I think he's not getting the respect he deserves, and I think he knows that. So it's going to be interesting to see what Jorge can do without, just only 6 days of advance on the fight. And in my opinion, when I saw that interview with him and Ariel, he seems ready. He seems like he's prepared to go in there and win and go on a title run. Like he doesn't seem like he has any doubt in his mind that he's going to win. So I think that's really cool. And I think it'd be fucking wild to see this veteran in the game take the belt from this dude. Like he could have a wild ass, title reign, 20 years into his career. So I'm rooting for him. I hope he does win. I think it's hilarious that so many people dislike him now, but I guess it is what it is. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Who else is fighting on that card? Rose and let me pull up the card. Rose Namajunas. I fucking love Thug Rose, bro. She is like if I was like a female fighter with a lot of talent, I would strive to be where she's at, or just be like in her how she fights. Rose Namajunas and Weili Zhang for the strawweight title, and that fight right there is going to be super interesting. I love Rose, like I've been saying, just the way she fights, the way she talks about herself mentally. A lot of things she talks about, like mental health and how she goes through it, and she's doubted herself, and just a lot of her story is really, really, how do you say inspiring. And I want her to win. I want her to go in there and take it home. But Weili's wild, man. She's fucking tough. She's a badass bitch. She's gonna be a hard fucking fight. And that night is gonna be great, man. UFC 261? Yeah, 261. April 24th. You guys should definitely check it out. It's gonna be a good fucking card. Flyweight titles on the line as well. Valentina Shevchenko and Jessica Andrade. That's going to be wild. Anthony Smith is fighting. He's fucking dope. If you guys haven't, you should look up Anthony Smith break-in story or something like that. And he tells this story with Ariel about how this dude, this like crackhead, broke in his house and was like, and he had to like fight him to like, and he thought he was gonna have to kill him, and how it was like the toughest fight of his whole life, and his wife was helping him, and he had to hold this guy down because he didn't know what was happening, and how he was like, he just beat the shit out of him, but the guy never stopped. And yeah, Anthony Smith break-in video or something like story. You should be able to look it up. But yeah, that guy's dope. He's a badass. Uriah Hall and Chris Weidman are fighting. That'll be a good fight. So yeah, five fights on the main card for that fucking night are going to be amazing. So also going to be the first fight that's going to have fans in like a year or something. That shit is wild. So I am very, very excited for that fight. I'm very excited for a lot of the fights coming up. What else is coming up? Fucking Conor and Dustin. Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier have gone through drama. Now, for those who don't know, Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier have been talking about fighting, having a rematch. You know, Conor got dusted by Dustin Poirier the first fight, unfortunately. Sadly to say, I didn't even talk about it. I think I did a podcast or something the day after, and I didn't even talk about it just because it was like heartbreaking. I'm a big Conor fan, guys. Big Conor fan. So I hate to see that guy lose, and now that so much is on the line for him and his legacy, I felt like that Dustin loss was bad. It was not good, man. Never seen him, fall to strikes. You never seen him or lose to strikes. It was a tough loss. But anyways, he lost that first fight, and they've been talking about a rematch. Well, so he won the first fight years ago. Then Dustin won the second fight recently. Now they're going to have a third one. It was just officially announced a couple days ago. But what, UFC 262, is that it? No. That's the one with Michael Chandler and Charles Oliveira, which is another story. We could just go into UFC for so long, dude. UFC 264, Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier, Saturday, July 10th in Vegas. That's going to be wild. So that it's official now. But I think it's hilarious because, not hilarious, but it's very interesting. They have a story going on now. So Dustin claimed that Conor McGregor did not make the donation that he promised on the second fight. Conor McGregor said that he was going to donate $500,000 to Dustin Poirier's fight for the fight. Wait, what's it called? Good Hope or some shit like that. Some foundation of Dustin's, and he never did. And then Dustin tweeted recently, like something about like, you guys stopped replying to our emails and shit like that. We'll see you on July 7th, blah, 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 whatever. And I guess it came back to a point. It got to a point where obviously Conor and him went at it. Conor called him an inbred hillbilly and told him it's fucking bullshit that his team never gave them the right plans as to where the money was going to go. And it was a big, back and forth. Eventually, Dustin went on social media to apologize to Conor for it. And I thought that was really, because I guess Dustin didn't communicate with his team correctly, and that it was the case that, Conor was right. Either way, I love that this happened, even if it was fake. Create some fake beef. I think Conor needs that shit, dude. I don't necessarily. I think that you could be respectful and mature, and also talk shit to your opponent, and also have this layer of violence. When it comes to a fight, it's a fucking fight. I don't think that you can be, I've never fought. I've never even seen a fight in real life. I've never seen guys well, I have, but you know what I'm saying? Like I need to keep saying that. I don't want to like come off like I'm a fight, like a fighter myself, but I mean, I've been in fights, physical fist fights, quite a bit, but I mean, never like in the ring, but whatever. I think that there's a certain level of violence when it comes to fighting, even in the octagon or the ring or whatever the fuck. And I think that it's hard, man, when you have a good life, when you have a good family and you're content. It's hard to be content with that layer of violence staying in you. You know what I'm saying? Like there's like this dog in you that it doesn't need to be there anymore once you have a family. It seems like it's just useless. It's like, why would I let this dog roam around in my mind when I could let that motherfucker go and, and have much more room for things that truly make me happy. So I'm not saying that that's something that happened with Conor, but I know that personally, you know, not necessarily because of fighting, but because of other things, you know, when it comes to making music or YouTube videos or anything that I do that has a lot of passion or competition to it. You know, I find myself becoming soft in those regards sometimes in some senses because of the happiness I have in my daily life. So it is what it is. I think that this is good for Conor. I think that him getting knocked the fuck out, the last fight, was good for him. And I think it's going to be interesting to see where he goes. He's one of the smartest fighters in the game. And it's going to be very interesting to see what happens that day. So very, very interesting. I guess I'll go over the other UFC just to do it. Since I mentioned it. The one with Nate Diaz. Can't wait to see fucking Nate Diaz fight again. That's going to be so much fun. Nate Diaz and Leon Edwards. That's going to be a great fight. So, returning Nate Diaz. I guess we'll see what Leon Edwards got. I've seen a little bit in that last fight, but not too much. I've never really seen him fight too much. I've just heard good things, so we'll see. And then Michael Chandler and Charles Oliveira is going to be a wild fight, man. I want Chandler to win. I like him a lot. You know, he came over from, I think, Bellator. He was a champion over there. Had a wild-ass knockout on Hooker. I think it was Hooker. And, yeah, man, I like his story. I like his attitude. And I would really love to see him win. And then I would really love to see him and Conor fight. So, yeah, that would be wild. So, we will see what happens in the world of fighting. That was really fun to talk about, dude. I've never talked about the UFC so much or fighting so much. Let me just round that out or finish off the fighting part of this podcast by talking about Francis Ngannou. Francis fucking Ngannou. Big, scary motherfucker. I love his story, dude. People. I don't want to go into too much of his backstory. There's a lot of it. If you want to really know his story, watch his podcast with Joe Rogan. He goes into his history and how he had the wild ass shit he had to do to get out of his country and get to America or to France. And it has a wild story. This guy fought and legitimately slaved to be able to be where he's at now and to be the heavyweight champion of the world and to do it the way he did it. And to have the talent he has and the ability he has, I think that we are looking at probably one of the greatest heavyweights of all time in any sport or any fighting, any combat sport. I think that if he continues his improvement, and I think if he continues to keep his head right, we can probably see the makings of the longest reigning, most popular heavyweight in all of combat history. I'm talking including Mike Tyson, all these guys. Okay. We'll see. And I need to say that also including the fact that we are in 2021 and being able to get eyes on certain sports and in certain ways is much higher than it used to be. So I say that, keep that in mind, but I don't know. Francis Ngannou is amazing. I can't wait to see his next fight. I hope he does fight John Jones. But damn, what a fucking fight that would be, man. I don't even know who I would go for, Francis and John Jones, man. I have no idea. It's so wild. But yeah, dude, love Francis Ngannou. Shout out to Stipe, greatest heavyweight of all time as of right now. But, maybe it's just the evolution of humanity, bruh. This is why we can't talk about greatest of all time. And you can't compare, Jordan to LeBron. They're different times. They're different players. There were different ways of playing in the game, different metas, I guess you could say. You know what I'm saying? Human beings evolve. There's a saying that they say, we stand on the shoulders of gods, which is basically saying we are only as good as we are because we've learned from the history because we've learned from the mistakes of others in the past. So You know, we like fighting would not be, you know, Bruce Lee was not the greatest martial artist. You know, he was very, not psychological, but like very, I hate when I do this because I'll listen back and I'll be like, this is the word. This is the word. He was very, not metaphysical, but he was, his contribution to martial arts, I think, was a lot more of, philosophical. But without him, I don't think that we would be where we are with mixed martial arts at all without Bruce Lee. You know what I'm saying? I don't think the fighters would be as good as they are without him. And, you know, over the years we get better, we learn better, you know, things, ways to do things. And I sound stupid as fuck. I guess you guys get what I'm saying. So yeah, it's going to be wild to see. Shout out to Stipe. I still think that Stipe could come back, but I wouldn't want to see him fight for anything but the belt. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if I want to see Stipe going in there and fighting like 2 or 3 ranked guys. I mean, maybe if he just doesn't seem like there's certain fighters you see that you can tell like they're done, like they don't want to fight no more. But and I don't know if that's how Stipe is. So I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, man. So, I guess I should say rest in peace, DMX. That shit sucked, man. It was when I found out the first thing, I was at a park with my family. We went to some park in like San Dimas for was it Mother's Day? No, not Mother's Day. What did we go there for? Was there a reason? Oh, for Easter. So I was there with the whole family, drinking, having fun. It was actually really nice, really, really nice. But I got the notification, read it, and it was like one of those things where it's like, damn, it's like they say that he's in critical condition or whatever, but it's like you get that feeling where it's like almost like, you know, oh, he's gone. So it was rough, man. There's some celebrity deaths that don't affect me. But DMX was rough, man, because I remember being a young kid and listening to the Grand Champ album and learning a lot from that album. You know, the way he prays and the way he expresses, like, he just felt raw, I guess, and real. And that album gave me confidence and energy. I don't know. To see that, to see that post, it was really rough, and it took me right back to like, damn, I didn't even remember that I listened to DMX so much. You know, I don't even remember that I used to like legit. I don't know. I don't want to talk about how much I listen to him or whatever, but it's really fucking sad, man. And I think that somebody said something about like how DMX was a perfect example of how God doesn't just work through, you know, the most perfect beings, that he also works through the broken ones. So, yeah, I don't know. It was really fucking sad. I just want to shout him out. If you guys haven't listened to the Grand Champ album, you should. It's a great fucking album. If you guys are going to work out or anything, like, it's a great album, man. Great album. All right, what else we got here? Oh shit. So there's artificial intelligence now that is recreating the music of popular artists. So there is a Nirvana song that was recreated to sound like Nirvana. And okay, let me show you guys the other one though. Let me show you the Amy Winehouse one. So basically what they're doing is they put together all these different songs that Amy Winehouse sang, all the vocals, and they put it into, from what I understand, they put it into a computer, and then they put a lot of her music into a computer, and it somehow, using artificial intelligence, created a new Amy Winehouse song that she's never sang before. And it actually, and it I'll just play it, and then we'll talk about it. This shit is wild, bro. I don't even know if I could play this. I probably can't play it, but let's see.
And I like to get on going.
Dude, what the fuck?
Trouble is showing
Dude.
with this song. I have seen
What the
it
fuck?
all, but it doesn't show one bit.
Yeah, okay, so that's all I want to play. I don't want to get copyright or whatever, but dude, what is that? Dude, what the fuck? Like, what does that mean? What does that mean for us? Right? Like, so what is that when they're able to do this? This is just the beginning. A computer just created a piece of art that is indistinguishable from the art of a genius artist. Right? AI did that. So like, what is that? What are we? If an AI can create beauty and art, and if beauty and art is held at this regard of being the one of the special things that humans can create, and one of those things that you can't really explain, music is so beautiful. It's kind of like outside of our perception of why it's so beautiful or what it is. And it's kind of like one of those gifts that we have as human beings, right? That's what we think about music and art and stuff like that. But if an AI can do the same fucking thing, what does that mean for us? What does that mean going forward? In 20 years, in 50, in 100 years, are there gonna be artists anymore? Like, if you could press a button and then create a fucking hit song, what does that mean for the music industry? It doesn't, and I understand that this AI was created using old files from actual artists, and that you have to take that into account too, right? It's not necessarily like the AI creating it from scratch. So maybe there is a little bit of like wonder and beauty and artistry and talent mixed in with this song, right? That Amy Winehouse song. For example, like there is still some of that essence of Amy Winehouse in that song, right? So it's kind of like a jumbling of the essence and the soul of Amy Winehouse and her talent and her producers or whoever else, and the intelligence of this AI combining. So there still is some essence to it. But I'd be willing to bet, and I feel like I already have heard that AI can create music from scratch. Just recognizing patterns and putting things like that together. I don't know, man. It's fucking weird. That shit fucking freaked me out when I heard about it. Like, that is not very comforting for the future to me. Like, I've always felt like art and music and stuff like that is like that one thing that us as humans have that the machines could never take from us. But I was fucking wrong. And that shit legitimately scares the fuck out of me. I don't know. It's very interesting, yo. Very, very interesting. I'm just going through my trending topics now on Twitter just to make sure I'm not forgetting anything that I'm going to hate that I didn't talk about today. Doesn't look like anything crazy is happening, We got those Derek Chauvin trials going on. I'm going to not even go there. Not even going to go there. Very interesting. Lil Uzi Vert is trending because it's the 1 year or the 5 year anniversary. Lil Uzi Vert versus the World. Never heard of it. Never heard the album. Alex Rodriguez and Jennifer Lopez reveal they have called off their engagement and are going their separate ways. How sad. That's it, yo. That's all I can think about. That's all I wrote down. I mean, we went into it today. I am really excited, dudes. All right. If you guys are here already, if you guys are still here, like fucking 40 minutes into this video or this podcast, you guys are legit, and I appreciate you guys. So thank you for sticking around, man. It's so funny because like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing anymore with this YouTube shit, guys. Like earlier I was talking about how like when you find a family and you become content with your life, you start like, maybe not, I have started to realize like there's so much I've done for years that I legitimately only did just to fill that void inside of me. And now that that void is filled with healthy shit, I'm starting to see a lot of other things that I filled that void with. Like, why did I ever do that? Like, why was I forcing myself to try to be this thing that I just never was? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think it's sad to think that people never get to that point. You know, it's sad to think that, I don't know, man, that you can just stay lost and just trying to fill that shit inside of you and just be ignorant to it. Like, I'm 30 years old. I'm barely starting to see it. Barely. And I mean, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I think we all have a void that needs to be filled. We're fucking humans where we live for like 85 years if we're lucky. And, you know, we're hurling through space on a rock that shows no compassion towards us. And at any moment, our lives can be ended by, you know, a wide arrangement of different things. You know, life is scary. And I think over time, as we grow older, with, you know, we beat ourselves down to just be like, okay, I can breathe now. I have this set of rules that I follow. I go to this job. I have this family. I have this support system. I do this. I do that. But when it comes down to it, we don't look at what this is. Where we are, what we are. If you close your eyes right now and try to not have any thoughts and just open your eyes, you'll realize that you are just a two-legged creature with no clothes. You put clothes on. You could be, okay, what we truly are without all these things we give ourselves is a thin-skinned meat sack with no idea where we are, with no ability to live in the world without help from external tools. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we were in the fucking jungle or in the forest with no tools, we're fucking dead. We are fragile beings in a remarkable, complicated, dangerous world. Yet we're the most like confident creatures on the planet. And I think it's so hilarious that we forget it every day. You can go years without even realizing, like, oh, I can die right now. Like, oh, if I didn't have these walls surrounding my house, I would be cold right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, we forget so often how scary this shit is, how dangerous it is. And it's like, fuck, man, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like I'm constantly reminded of that every day. Every day when I drive to work, like, oh, if I went like this, I would die and kill a bunch of people around me. If somebody else fell asleep and went like this on their steering wheel, we're all dead. We're driving at, 85 miles per hour in these big metal squares right next to each other going down a hill. Like, what are we doing? Sorry, I need to, I don't know, guys. I just don't. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about now. Oh, I bought tickets to a rave. Oh my God. I forgot. That's what I was going to title this video. I forgot. If I title this, I bought tickets to a rave and I don't talk about it until the end of the podcast, I think that's going to be fucking hilarious. I haven't bought tickets to anything in a long ass time, but I bought tickets to Hard Summer Music Festival. I'm gonna go get lit, and it's gonna be sexy, and I'm gonna be like, okay, wait. Before I start saying shit, I don't even know what I'm saying. Let me just bring it back. Bring it back there, Audible. I'm really excited. I am really excited. I can't wait, honestly, man. It's more of like a legit rave than a concert, like a festival, I guess you would say. A lot more EDM artists and stuff like that, DJs. Future's going to be there. A few people are going to be there, but still, I'm excited, man. I'm excited to go listen to some loud music, have a drink. I'm excited to go back to the Nas Center. I think that going to the Nas Center for like my first festival back is, kind of like a beautiful way to do it, because that was like where I used to rave like a lot back in the day. It's literally right down, like 5 minutes away from where I work every day. So the drive is like nothing to me. I can just go right back home. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm really fucking excited about it. I hope to see some of you guys there. I hope that maybe we can do a little meetup. If there's a lot of you guys going, let me know in the comments or whatever. And maybe if there's like at least like 2 or 3 of you guys, we'll meet up, we'll hang out, smoke something. And yeah, man, I'm really excited. I might try to hit up EDC in May, which would be before technically. But I'm kind of curious how they're gonna do all that. Like, how are you gonna have like 80,000 people show up in Vegas in a month? Like, it seems like not much time to plan. I mean, I'm sure that they've already been planning behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure, that they know what they're doing, but I'm just curious how it's going to be. I feel like it's going to be a shit show, and it might not even be worth it to try to get there, but I guess we'll see. I might try to get in, for a Friday night or something like that, but we'll see. We'll see. Hello, sir. How are you? Mr. Tip Boy walked in. But yeah, man, I'm excited for that. We are going camping next month for Mother's Day with the family. So I'm that's going to be fun. I might do a little vlog for that. But yeah, man, taking it day by day, no plans, no schedule. As of right now, I'm going to aim to try to get you guys a podcast every Thursday, because Thursdays are my first day off. So like I can come on early Thursday, like I did today, and just bullshit. I'm trying to get my brother on for the next podcast. I was trying to get him on today, but he had some work stuff that came up. So we're going to try to get him on for next week, but I don't want to just come on here and be alone every time. I want to start having guests and do Discord or like Zoom calls and stuff like that. And we'll see where this all goes, where it takes us. I'm having fun. I'm just trying to enjoy my life and not worry about staying, consistent with uploading and, making sure the content is the best and all. I'm just trying to have fun and do whatever the fuck I want at this point, guys. So, yeah, I think that's the point. I think that's the point of life, man. It's not about doing all this stuff you think you should do. It's just doing the stuff that you should do, the stuff that you want to do, the healthy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I focus on my work. I focus on my responsibilities and my values. And unfortunately, YouTube has gotten like 4th or 5th down the line as far as like values that I value. So, I mean, I wouldn't say unfortunately either, because when I'm on here now, I have a lot of fun. And when I do, want to create, I have, fresh ideas and fresh energy. So yeah, I love you guys so much. I'm sorry that it's kind of hit or miss, consistency wise, but I'm going to do my best to be here every Thursday for you guys with the podcast. The Mind Control podcast is every other Tuesday. We actually have 420 episode coming up in 5 days. So check that out. We're going to be watching Up in Smoke. It's going to be very interesting. Very interesting. So yeah, man, I love you guys so much. So much. You guys, there's like 10 of you guys who have stayed members, and I just can't tell you how much I truly still appreciate that and how much it means to me. And yeah, so I guess we'll end it with that. I think I talked about UFC for like more than half of this podcast. I'm actually really happy about that. I really hope there's some of you guys out there who are into it as much as I am, and we can talk in the comments and stuff like that. First person to comment on this video and say Pink Floyd, not only will I respond to you, I will pin your comment to the top. Okay? Just say Pink Floyd, and your comment gets pinned to the top. I respond, and I click the little heart so it's loved. I love you guys so much. Have a great weekend, and I'll probably see you guys. Have a good one. Wait. He's such a little love bug sometimes. He's over there purring, rubbing his face against the chair. All right, guys. Have a good one.